Comedy Film Nerds Podcast.
All right, go DVDs.
Well, let's talk about the trailers.
Oh, the trailers. Keep forgetting the trailers. See,
Right
the
on the
board
board.
is throwing me off. It's too big.
Just can't see the giant thing at the top of it. Look, the Coco trailer.
Now, this is Pixar's version of Book of Life. This is, I remember when I'm watching
Day of
the trailer.
Dead sort of a thing.
Yes, yeah, and pretty much, okay, the Mexican mythology and with the people, the Day of the Dead, the skeletons, and then the city that everyone lives in after they die. And the thing about Pixar, which is interesting, even though like we've already kind of seen this before in another movie, it doesn't matter because Pixar will do something different and interesting with it, as long as it's not about a dinosaur. That's so.
Yeah.
So I really, as much as like this trailer, it started off. I'm like, I'm not sure. It won me over at the end, as all Pixar trailers do. So
Yeah.
I'm still excited to see this.
Do you think it was because it's a Hispanic family? You're like, I don't know if I connect with this, and then it kept going, and it was dope.
It was more about the guitars. I don't like guitars.
Yeah. Well, at first when you were playing it before, I'm like, did they make an animated Desperado? 'Cause
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
dope.
That would be sweet.
Yeah, just a little kid.
I would love to see that. That
Baby
would be
Desperado.
Great. Yeah.
What did you think of this? Are you a big Pixar fan, Ramon?
I tend to. I have nephews and nieces. They're a little older, like teenagers now. So I was in that chunk where I would go see them all.
Right.
I want to say Big Hero 6 is the last one I went and saw like in the theaters with them.
Right.
But I do enjoy them. I didn't get to see. I didn't see Inside Out, all of it. I saw like part of it on a plane and I fell asleep, just because I was kind of sad.
That movie, yeah.
It'll make
movie
you,
will
it'll make you so sad.
For sure, man.
Because you're like, oh, that's inside of me right now.
And then you're on a plane and you're just either flying to or from some gig and you're like, oh, what am I doing?
It's very rough.
Yes.
But I
You
enjoy
need your control panel upgraded.
I think that they're the ones who are really good about putting that layer for kids and that layer for adults. Like always,
Expert
even from going
Yep.
back from Toy Story and
Yep.
all their first endeavors.
Yeah, that's the thing that I don't know much about this mythology of the Day of the Dead, so I'm intrigued to sort of see the Disney kid version interpretation of it along with the layer for the adults.
Yeah.
So that looks intriguing to me. And
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it now.
The one thing I don't like about Pixar is they ushered in the era of only famous people do movie voices. Like I feel
Yeah.
like before them it was like you just could have like a dope voice and just like kill animation work. And then like now like literally it's every animated person is a famous person that is just talking that voice.
I know that's the thing, and their explanation is, we need these big people to do the PR, the marketing for it, because they get big interviews. But
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying
Yeah.
it because it's these are giant marketing campaigns of animation where kids don't give a shit.
No.
They don't. They
and
wanna
the
see a
parents
good movie.
whose kids, when your kids go, that looks cool, Daddy, you're not going, but it didn't have
Yeah, it
Matthew
didn't have Brad
McConaughey.
Pitt in it. Yeah, I don't want to go see it. Yeah.
Speaking of which, Despicable Me 3.
I gotta say, I've never gotten these movies.
I've never seen them.
I haven't liked either one of them, including the spin-off Minions one. I've seen all of them. I thought, well, maybe I'm missing something. If I see this one, it will be the fourth one for me. I can't imagine it's going to change my mind.
Well, how is it landed for your kids? Do they like these movies?
You know what's interesting? They like them, but they don't love them. They're not like they're like almost like just filler for in between the Disney and Pixar movies that come out. And it's like, all right, well, this will tide me over until the real animated movie comes out. Like these aren't quote destination movies for my kids.
Right.
They're like the movie that you wait at until the one you want to see comes on.
Interesting.
But I'll tell you, it's I love Steve Carell. I think he's hilarious, and just these movies have never made me laugh. And I don't. I get the appeal with the kids and the Minions because it's bright and colorful and fun, but they're not in the same league as these other ones, as Pixar and Disney.
All right. DVD. Sing.
I was lucky enough that not feeling well that day, so I got to avoid seeing this movie.
Yeah, it didn't look
I
good at all.
missed Sing. Did you see Sing with any nieces and nephews?
No.
No?
No, I have no interest in like that type of movie. I'm trying to like, they're of the age now, I'm trying to pull them into like good, like just good films. So like,
yeah.
I got them to watch like Goodfellas like last time I was
Nice.
home. So I'm trying to like pull them into that because I feel like they're at that age. where,
Cinematic
like,
education.
yeah.
Good for you.
Good.
That's-
You're doing God's work.
That's
Thanks,
good
man.
uncling. It is God's work. Getting the kids to watch Goodfellas.
Assassin's Creed. No one thought this movie was going to be good except a few of you on Twitter. You were wrong.
I think they were just diehard
yeah,
gamers who just didn't want to accept
I get
the
it.
fact
You
that-
know, the games are fun.
Do you that leads to the question, has there ever been a good video game movie? Probably not.
Wow.
You know what? Here's the thing. Every once in a while, there'll be like a guilty pleasure, like, but you can't use the word really good for any of these movies. But like the first Mortal Kombat was fun, but it was not a good movie.
Me and my buddy, we were literally just talking about that at a barbecue Sunday, how like if they tried to make that movie now, it would probably be super dope because this is the right era to be campy.
Yes.
Right.
Like that wasn't like that and like Street Fighter and that whole era,
Right.
they weren't trying to be campy.
No,
they
no.
just
they were kitsch.
Yeah,
they came
yeah,
off on
yeah.
the opposite side.
and oh man.
And out of the 30 Resident Evil movies that were made, like there was 2 or 3 that were just fun. They were fun.
And they weren't. I wouldn't even tie those to the games at all.
I know.
Honestly, like
Yeah.
they're just not really. What game do you play video games? Like what video game would you want to see as a movie?
Last of Us for sure, but it's one of those movies that has been in development hell forever. They haven't been. Sam Raimi was supposed to direct it,
Oh, man.
and it just hasn't gotten anywhere.
Fallout Boy looks cool. That looks like a cool video game.
The
Fallout.
Oh, Fallout. Yeah, Fallout looks good. The other one is
Fallout Boy's a band.
Final
Fallout
Fantasy
Boy's
VII
band.
would be a dope.
Final Fantasy. Yeah, if Final Fantasy, like they make those movies every once in a while, but they have nothing to do with the games, and they're awful. But the other one would be also Uncharted. Now they said Sony's supposedly fast tracking that, but I don't know. But that would be our new Indiana Jones. So that would be a really fun, cool movie. But yeah, again, we'll see if they
Video
ever
games
get
have
made.
become so.
They're so good. Like why
They're
bother with a
cinematic
movie?
within themselves.
I know.
Yeah.
Like that new Zelda's. I've been watching my buddy play it at his house on the Nintendo Switch, and it's just like this game's
It
amazing.
looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, well, I'm in the movie now. Why do I need to watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally like an animated film. Amazing.
So,
Live by Night.
Yeah, this was the Ben Affleck movie that they had such high hopes for that no one saw.
It had such a low rating. It was apparently, I didn't see it, but apparently it was awful. Aaron saw it. What were your thoughts, Aaron?
It's okay. It's not horrible.
Now, the
I mean,
trailer showed nothing but shooting. Was there more than shooting in the movie?
There's more than shooting, but this starts out with Ben Affleck's Boston accent, which is kind of annoying. And then, but it's not bad.
How did it
Ultimately,
fall
it's-
short? Why did it? Because at first it seemed like they were grooming this thing to be an Oscar pick. So what happened?
His,
Yeah, I
his
mean-
brother blew him out the water.
Yes.
Some of that. I mean, there's a pretty good cast in it, and it's a period drama. It's in like the 20s and 30s.
It had all the earmarks of like, ooh, but
Right.
like didn't.
Like
Yeah.
it was like this was going to be his road to perdition.
It probably
Yeah,
didn't have a
something like
point of
that.
view. I feel like it just had things
Maybe
happen.
it still was.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird. I mean, it is the first Ben Affleck movie that's not nominated for an Oscar, which is crazy. He directed
Geely.
it.
Oh.
No, directed it. Yeah.
Right.
about
No,
to
that's
start rattling
well. That's
off
the
a
thing
bunch
because
of
I was
That's
watching.
why I dropped
on-
out of Batman.
It's curious to hear this because I watched The Accountant on the plane coming back Sunday, and it's okay. I know you saw The Accountant, Chris.
I think you're being generous.
Yeah.
But okay.
It's not that great, and then this Live by Night didn't do well, and I'm like, what happened? Is he because he did The Town, Argo, and
Gone Baby Gone.
and Gone Baby Gone, and it was just
All
like
great movies.
all great movies, and you're like, holy shit, he's on fire. And then now,
Well, maybe William Goldman was really the one directing them.
I mean, it happens a lot. That happens a lot with like rappers. Like their first few albums will be really like good, but then the farther they get from the struggle and the more they get into the success, their perspective just isn't as valid. Is it once they run out of shit to set?
That's interesting because when he did Gone Baby Gone in the town, it was like he was fighting so hard to get away from these just pretty boy movies, and no one was respecting him as a director, so he had to fight it. He went back and shot these movies, these somewhat low budget-ish, and then when he got Argo, everyone was like, boy, can he do a movie outside of Boston? And Argo was great.
And he was in it, too.
And he was in it.
You know, the other thing about artists, too, is they need time to recharge. Like, it's also fine, you know, you could take a year or two off and, you know, just really do something you're passionate about. You don't have to churn out a movie every year.
Yeah. I mean, this is by the same author as Gone Baby Gone, and I mean, there's also, you could look at his private life as, you know, he's been going through sort of a divorce, which may not be happening now.
Right. Yeah, he got caught cheating on his wife, and that got public, and that blew up, and they're trying to work out the
I
relationship.
feel like if you're famous, you're just gonna cheat on your wife, man.
I don't know. I don't know
I don't
what.
know.
but
What-
I think
It's
it's
so
get
weird
famous and
because a
find out.
lot of celebrity couples and families really stay together. So it's you know, boy, they really bucked the trend.
It seems impossible. Like there's a 55% divorce rate with regular people in America.
Yeah, I can imagine the pressures of, you know, being on a set and, you know, being a celebrity all the
The
time.
celebrity, and I'm not excusing this, but
No.
just if you're
But like with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, was that surprising to anyone really that eventually was going to
I
happen?
mean this, and also too, like, you know, you're Ben Affleck, you have women throwing, like the most beautiful women in the world are just throwing themselves
other beautiful women
at you at the same time. So it's just like, and that's not like, I don't excuse that because, you know, why did you get married if you're going to cheat on your wife?
You
Like
know,
you knew that was going to happen.
Here's also the problem with no relationship can survive being apart for long periods of time. Like when you're off shooting a movie for 8 months or whatever and your family's back home, that is, it's very difficult to maintain that, you know, family bond because you're literally not there.
Yeah.
So that also puts a large strain on a marriage and a family for sure.
I wouldn't know.
Hire,
I was on the road 40 weeks a year and then got a divorce.
hire ugly nannies. I mean,
Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the other thing, man. I'm telling you, if I was in that position and there was like we're interviewing nannies, I'd be like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, no, I don't want
Start a company, Mangly
I don't
Nanny.
want you anywhere near
I mean,
me.
it didn't stop Schwarzenegger,
No.
but you know, it'll stop most people.
I wouldn't hire a hot nanny. I wouldn't hire some ripped pool boy. I wouldn't let
I just
any of
won't
that.
have the money to hire anybody. So you
That's
just,
such a
just,
great
just
point.
trust
That's
that I'll
great
be
for a
broke and
marriage.
be with you, girl.
Yeah, that's yeah. So,
Miss Sloane.
yeah. Now, Miss Sloane, this is the gun control movie that
Right.
another one that had like high hopes for like Oscars and never really.
Yeah,
caught
really.
on.
Jessica Chastain,
Yeah.
big Oscar lineup, and you know, it didn't.
Just kind of fizzled.
Now, do you think the NRA tanked it?
I don't
Do
know.
you think that the power stretches that far?
Because there wasn't even like that, like those giant press releases of NRA boycotts movie or anything. It was just kind of quiet.
Interesting.
So I don't know if anything.
My
really
guess,
happened.
I don't know. I don't put that past the NRA at all. But my guess is this, and I haven't seen it. My guess is if a movie with Jessica Chastain. I mean, this is Oscar bait.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those lefties over there.
But no one bid it.
No one bid it.
Yeah,
bid it.
yeah, that's true.
Maybe it just wasn't. It didn't have.
Sometimes bait isn't tasty.
Yeah. If it had some big screenings at some big festivals that people didn't like jump to their feet and applaud it, then there's that like they just kind of like no one's gonna badmouth it in those circles, but they're not gonna get behind it.
Right.
That's my guess.
So one of the things I want to mention for the site spotlight is the CJ's review of Raw. We've been talking about this movie for a couple of weeks. I'm afraid to see it just because it's so graphic. But it's the one about the vegetarian student that is hazed into eating meat and then basically develops cannibalism. But again, it goes back to that
That's a
discussion we were
documentary?
having. That would have been awesome.
Yep,
if
it
was
happened
that.
at Berkeley.
And thank God it wasn't a found footage movie. But it goes back to like just some interesting weird creepiness that's happening in indie horror that studio horrors just simply aren't doing. So you can check that out. But it's a coming of age sexual awakening story too, with cannibalism Right. So it's all those things that a studio exec either A, wouldn't get, or go, we're never greenlighting this. So for those reasons alone, it's worth checking out.